Frosted Mini Wheats Cocoa. Are you a shredded wheat fan? Are you a chocolate fan? Were you as let down by last year's frosted chocolate cake shredded wheat from Post as I was? Will Frosted Mini Wheats Cocoa make all things right? Friends, it's time to eat some cereal. Happy birthday, everybody. Welcome to Cerealsly, where we take cereals seriously. My name is Alex, and I eat and review hundreds of cereals a year in order to help you get the most out of your cereal experience. Every week, we explore what's new and exciting in the cereal world, or we explore old favorites together. So I'd love to hear what your favorite cereal is down in the comments. Today on Cerealsly, we're trying the newest flavor from Frosted Mini Wheats, Frosted Mini Wheats Cocoa. These seem to be the classic Frosted Mini Wheats, but wrapped around some kind of chocolate interior. Looking at the box, I can't tell if it's meant to be a chocolate gel or goo or chunk inside of these. It just looks a little bit darker right here. We'll have to wait and find out how they did it together. In my opinion, these could not be released at a better time. Last fall, I reviewed this cereal. Frosted chocolate cake shredded wheat from Post, which seems like a similar idea, but these, my friends, were super lame. I gave them a 1.5 out of 5. The only bit of praise I had for them was that this box is very striking, but my biggest complaints were that they tried to connect themselves to chocolate cake, but they still used white icing, which I thought was really dumb. And I also thought it was dumb that they made no attempt to turn milk chocolatey. Well, both of those challenges seem to have been directly addressed by Kellogg's here. They are not connected to chocolate cake, which means that the white frosting is totally appropriate, but they also very specifically feature the idea that they turn milk chocolatey. It's right there on the front of the box. That seems fantastic. One question I do have about this box, though, has to do with this little mascot guy. He looks like the same guy from the regular Frosted Mini Wheats. Is that right? He's standing at such an angle where we can't tell if he's got chocolate inside. Would it have been that difficult for Kellogg's to make him a variation on the regular guy, a chocolate guy? In fact, I discovered looking back at other Frosted Mini Wheat flankers that no matter what the flavor is, whether it's blueberry or strawberry or cinnamon or pumpkin pie, it's still this same guy standing in almost the exact same way on every box. He's even on the box of Frosted Mini Wheats Little Bites. They don't even make a little version of him. What an incredible missed opportunity to branch out and create some buddies for this mascot. He could have had a whole gang of friends by now, and all it would have taken was one additional render from a higher angle and some graphic designer to just take a color and go like, on the top. There could have been Frosted Mini Wheat guy lore and relationships and world building, but no. They just keep putting this same dude on the box. That's weird, and I want to challenge them to do better. Come on, Kellogg's. Still, I am excited to overlook all those small quibbles and give these things a try. Now, one quick, super fun thing I want you to know is that the box I've been showing you is one I purchased about a month ago. But just last week, I reached a major milestone for the Cerealsly channel. For the first time ever, a cereal company, Kellogg's, reached out to me and sent me some cereal for free. Not just one. Look at this huge box. Ba-boom! I am truly an influencer, friends. And I want to take a moment to unpack this together and see what's inside. Now, obviously, what's inside is going to be these cereal boxes, but do you think they just crammed them all in here and that's it? Or is there some kind of packaging that's going to look cool? Let's find out. All right, well, there is like a little flyer here. New flavors, and it talks all about them. And then, yes, indeed, they're just packed in there. Look at that. We've got the glazed cereals, which we tried in our live episode about a month ago. You should watch that. It's about an hour long of Cerealsly fun. People chatting with us in the chat. Really good time together. So that's the first thing that's in here is the 3 glazed. Then what do we got? Ooh, we do have some bubble wrap. Big bubbles. Then we've got, look at this. The cereal we already have. Hooray. Then we've got another one. Just a little heads up. This is coming next week. Ooh, and then finally, there are 2 cereals that I haven't bought personally yet. Triple Berry Blend Special K. Ooh. And then finally, the reimagined versions of Extra. We'll have to check those out later. Look at all this stuff. Now, I want you to know, even though I have reached this incredible height of cereal influence, I'm going to stay humble. And truthfully, I'm going to keep my journalistic integrity. Though I am very grateful for the recognition and gift from Kellogg's, I am still going to go with an honest review and let the chips fall as they may. And today that will be somewhat easier because I'm actually going to review the box that I purchased myself anyway. In the end, I'm going to clean all this up, and then I want to use all of my cereal expertise to help you decide if you need a bowl of Frosted Mini Wheats cocoa cereal. Hey, if you made it this far, you are so nice. It's likely that you turn milk chocolatey. Would you do me one more favor? Would you like this video? That would really help me out. All right, I think I am ready. I have got my bowl. I've got my spoon. I've got my 1% milk that I like. And of course, the cereal of the hour, Frosted Mini Wheats cereal. Let's open this stuff up, see what it looks like in a bowl. Well, they look totally fine, but I have to say this is the worst cutting job that I've ever seen in a bowl of Frosted Mini Wheats. There are so many of these triples that I found here. Looking at them dry does not give me any more insight into what the chocolate inside is. I bet it's just a flavor goo that they put in there before they fold it all up. Do they fold it all up? I don't even know how this stuff is made. I did see one piece. Look, I'm touching everything. People are going to be upset about that. But I did see one piece that was like broken in half. Where did that one go? Here it is. Okay, you can see inside that it has sugar granules. I don't know if you can tell that. But then it does have this cocoa. It actually looked more like a powder than anything in there. And that would make a lot of sense. Maybe that's how it's going to turn our milk chocolatey. But I've looked at this stuff long enough. Now it's time to actually eat one of these. It's not really advisable to eat Frosted Mini Wheats dry necessarily, but we're going to try that just for the sake of consistency on this channel. So let's give a try to Frosted Mini Wheats cocoa dry. Well, dry they are for sure. That's not their fault. That's my fault. What am I thinking eating one of these dry? But for what it's worth, it tasted totally fine. It tasted like a regular Frosted Mini Wheat that was in chocolate milk. I just gave you the most obvious description of this stuff ever. The cocoa inside wasn't too bitter, but it wasn't overly sweet. Not a powerful, deep chocolate taste. Instead, very much along those lines of like a Nesquik taste. All right, let's do the right thing and put some milk on it and see what it's like then. Okay, let's give a try to Frosted Mini Wheats cocoa in milk. Well, it is way better in milk. That's definitely how you should eat any bowl of Frosted Mini Wheats, and this one's no exception. I will say, I don't know if I am a fan of the cocoa flavor. It's not very complex, which makes it feel like it's a thin taste. It's like a secondary afterthought taste. If you're going to put cocoa right on the box, then the cocoa should be one of the most enjoyable parts of the flavor, and I don't know if it is. I like the Frosted Mini Wheats part of this way better than I like the cocoa part of it. Let me give it another bite. Actually, that second bite was better, and I think it's because the cocoa is starting to get drawn out of the cereal pieces and into the milk. I can tell you, though, it's happening slowly. You can probably tell from the color that the milk is not all that chocolatey. And now I'm faced with a big dilemma. Do I eat this bowl of cereal fast enough that it won't get super soggy, or do I let it ruminate in the milk so that the milk becomes more cocoa-y? I'm split down the middle. I think I'll just keep eating consistently and see what happens. Geez, I'm sad to admit that the more I eat, the less I'm liking it. The cocoa, as it rests in the milk, is becoming more sharp, more sour, far more bitter than when we started this process. And the payoff, at least in the color of the chocolate in the milk, is only okay. Let me taste what the chocolate milk itself tastes like. Well, the milk itself that has drawn out the chocolate is actually reasonably sweet and good, like a totally light chocolate milk taste that anyone would enjoy. But I fear that what's happened is that whatever's left inside of the cereal pieces is the stuff that's making it taste chemically and pointy and quite unpleasant. Plus, like I mentioned, now I've got just kind of a bowl of mush, so I'm sort of sad. I think in my life, if I just have regular frosted mini wheats, I would rate them rather high, maybe a 3.5 out of 5 on my scale. But when it comes to rating these, much lower. I need to give frosted mini wheats cocoa a 1. I would not return to this cereal. Kellogg's, thank you so much for sending me that giant box of cereals that included one of these, although this is not that one. But I think this needs a reformulation. I think this needs the sweetness to stay inside of the cereal pieces, or try a different kind of chocolate. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I trust your professionals to figure it out by the next round. For now, I think I'm done with this one. Well, friends, we have done it all. We talked, we ate, we encouraged Kellogg's to go back to the drawing board on this one. And now it's enough. If you want to try today's cereal for yourself, just work on a YouTube channel devoted entirely to cereal for 2.5 years and then finally get noticed by Kellogg's and have them send you a giant box. Or they are available at most grocery stores like Walmart or Target, so you should have no trouble picking them up there. Now listen, if you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with what cereal we should look at together in a future episode. Until then, never be soggy, my friends. Bye-bye.